Hello guys, I'm S3D and this is going to be a review on the Flame Toys Furai model, Transformers Model Kit Drift. So this is a model kit, not an action figure. You have to put it together. It kind of behaves like an action figure once you put it together. However, it has polycap joints, not solid joints. So posing it, could be an issue. This is definitely something you don't want to give to a kid because they are definitely going to have problems posing the shoulders. And also, I want to warn you guys, I've been told by several people who own this kit that the shoulders is potentially an issue. So you want to be very careful when you're posing with the shoulders, or otherwise you can break the kit. And that'll be on you because the manufacturers and the distributor are not responsible for broken parts by the user. So if you break it, you go buy another kit. They're not going to replace the part. Anyway, this is rated for ages 15 plus, made in China, and also rated ages 15 plus by the distributor Bluefin. Also, this is officially licensed product from Hasbro. So very interesting to know because Bandai owns Bluefin, and so now technically Bandai is distributing a product that's licensed by their bitter rival known as Hasbro. Hasbro has been known to do embargo on several Bandai products, Bandai Spirits, Tamashii Nations product, the SH Figure Arts, Marvel stuff, and the SH Figure Arts Star Wars stuff. They all have been known to put embargo on them because Hasbro feel like Bandai is trying to take away business from their Marvel Legends and the Star Wars Black series line. So yeah, I mean it's their right. They own the rights in North America. Technically, Bandai is not supposed to be importing these kind of stuff and sell it here officially because Hasbro owns the right for that. People can buy directly from Japan. That's perfectly fine. But if they're taking the product and distributing it in large quantities through an official distribution setting, that will piss off Hasbro because Hasbro bought the licensing right to all the Marvel and Star Wars products from Disney. So legally, they are entitled to that right. But guess what? Like Bandai is also doing it in Japan. They're blocking Hasbro from importing their Marvel Legends and their Star Wars Black Series because Bandai owns the right in Japan. So now they're butting heads. But yeah, but it's still funny to see one of Bandai's official. Well, Bandai owns Bluefin now, so Bandai is actually distributing Hasbro product here in North America. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when that's gonna end. The thing is, I feel like. This is completely unrelated to the product. I think Hasbro does a better job with their figures. Stop making the figures so, so lazy and stuff like that. I don't think they would have any problem, having to fear competition from a product that's significantly 2 or 3 times the price of their, the product that put on the shelf. A lot of people complain about, the figures being just a lot of reused parts and stuff like that. But, that's what happens, man. Okay, we have a very nice packaging out here. This is the box for, this is definitely artwork from IDW, right? This is probably one of the better artwork I've seen so far. This is actually really good. Alright, so this kit is not without its issues. There are some major issues that I want to address here. The build itself is very good. All the parts, the mold, the build, the construction is solid. If I had to rate this kit completely based on the build and the engineering, I would give this a 9 out of 10. Yeah, but I don't really give rating systems. I'm just going to give you guys an objective reviews and, stuff like that. So. Anyway, we do have leftover parts. Basically, these are just parts that are already part of the mold itself. So if you want to, you can replace some of these parts with these parts. So if you want to do a color swap or something like that, yeah, these are all ready to go. If you want to do a color variant, that's not officially part of the instruction or the artwork. So there's that. These are all leftover parts. We have 2 open hands right here. Again, I panel lined this kit and I also painted in some details. And that's the problem with this kit. It's the detailing. We have 2 closed fists and we have 2 of these gripping hand, which is kind of designed like Gunpla now. Basically, the better Gunpla kits, the better master grades, where you just have this hand option, where you can pull these out and then you can put it back in. You know, I think it would be cool if they just save plastic by making all these, you know, interchangeable, like some of the, well, I mean, of course, it's not a Bandai product, so they should not be trying to copy Bandai. Oh, and I should probably not a good idea to talk about this because, you know, it could get them in trouble with Bandai. So anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, like some of the master grade kits where you can, I think like the wing and the C kits where you can just pop out the front section so they can hold the weapons and stuff like that. Okay, I think this thing is called a Star Saber. I think someone mentioned it a while back. So yeah, we have the Star Saber sword and we also have the hilt back here. So we have that. Okay, first off, this thing is crap. Okay, there's way too many foil stickers and this is no good. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. We have the instruction manual that kind of look like a US space comic book, like it's scaled down. It's a very nicely done, got a very nice picture. It's the same picture, they just added graphic effects on here, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so I mean, instruction. Now with this part, I definitely recommend gluing the top right here because this thing would constantly fall off, so I just glued it so you don't have to worry about this thing popping off all the time, especially when you attach to the back of the kit. Every time you you know, you put your hand here, this thing will just fall off, so it's better to just glue it. You can attach it back here. All right, so the Star Saber, this is completely color inaccuracy. That's one of the biggest problem with this kit. It's all these supposed to be gold, and I think the blade's supposed to be like dark gray or something like that. And all these sections right here, this is all supposed to be gold. You don't get any stickers for it. And you know, honestly, I feel like what they could have done is probably just mold this thing in gold, and then give you stickers for the little areas. That way you can just, you know, put on 2 little stickers and then you have something a little bit more color accurate than something like this. This you definitely have to paint, and I don't have any gold paint, so I can't paint this. So that sucks. And there we go. But the mold is solid. It looks really good. You just have to do some extra work, and I don't know. Like I think 90% of the Transformers fans state-wise, they're really not into painting the kit or even panel lining. They're just going to build a kit as it is. So it's going to lack a lot of details, unfortunately. All right, so we have 2 of these blades. I don't know what they're called, but of course you can hold them using these hands. Yeah, like I said, the mold is solid. It's definitely a 9 out of 10. But the color accuracy is probably like a 4 out of 10. There's so many areas that you need to paint. Yeah, I mean, if you're just like, you know, going for that whole comic accuracy thing, you could be disappointed after building this kit. So, yeah. I really don't like to give a rating system, but those numbers are the only way that I can make sense of stuff. So anyway, we have 2 of these blades again, inaccurate. There's no stickers for these little lines. You have to paint these red if you want it to be color accurate. And a lot of the foils on this kit really sucks. Okay, so I'm gonna get to that. So the foils on here really sucks. It actually doesn't cover anything. All this whole section is just white because the foils actually doesn't cover that section. So that sucks. The panel lining will definitely help, but you do need to paint. You need to paint this section right here. If you want it to be color accurate, I use gunmetal gray right here again. I think I did a pretty good job with the paint. So it looks pretty decent. Alright, so there you have to paint. You have to paint the chest. You know, this thing is all molded white. There's no sticker that goes into this area, so you have to paint that. It looks a lot better once you paint it. Now I did some custom color scheme right here for the head crest right there. I decided, to make this part gunmetal gray because it just looks a lot more menacing that way. And also the chin piece, I made that gray, so give it a nice contrast. This is supposed to be just all white and stuff like that. Like, you have to paint these parts right there. Yeah, and then you also have to paint the inside of these lights because they're white and they look really silly. So I mean, on the picture it always shows that it's gray, so I just paint it in gray. Gunmetal gray, of course. I also painted in the side of the arms right there. I paint that gray, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. Posability on this kit is good, but there are issues. Like I said, with the shoulders, these things are very problematic. If you messed up, you'll most likely break this little tab right here that holds like the shoulder part. There's this little white tab that goes in here with a poly cap that holds like this thing together. This kit also have some issues with like these parts coming off, and it's not as bad as the Optimus Prime kit from 2018. Yeah, 2018 was like the first attempt. That thing, the shoulder would like to fall apart. This thing is a lot more solid, but it could have tendency to fall apart. So I would definitely recommend gluing this section if you don't want to take this thing apart at all after building it. Probably a good idea after you paint it, or you do all the detail work on it before you glue it. Otherwise, it's going to be a pain in the butt to take apart. But yeah, you gotta be very careful with the shoulders. Again, lots of foils. All these foils. These ones are the worst offender right here on the blade, or the scabber. And then these little parts on the tip of the each one of these parts. These are a pain in the butt. These things kind of suck right here on the back. Right here, these things, and then the ones under the shoulder armor, those things sucks. And this piece back here, this really sucks. Looks like it's already starting to come apart. So I'll probably have to glue that glue that together. So that sucks. But the rest are okay. I mean, they're tiny. Just hope that they don't fall off. And if they don't fall off, then it should be okay. Yeah. So a lot of parts you have to paint. I know some people probably gonna get turned off by that, but overall it's a very solid figure, solid model kit. Why am I calling it figure? So yeah, the legs are super solid. The waist have this articulation. I guess if you hold it right here, don't hold like the part where it's gonna go into the ab crunch. It's pretty solid. Just like posability on the shoulders are not very good at all, due to the fact that the way it's designed. But the legs are very well articulated. It pretty much feels like an action figure from the waist down. But on the shoulders, it's a mess. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. I think Flame Toys is going the right direction with like the engineering. Maybe just do some tweaking on these parts. I think there's a way to design it so these things could interlock better so they don't come apart. And the shoulder joints, I don't know, like probably go with like ball joints or something. Kind of like the hip section, they use these ball joints. These works great. I mean, you don't have any issues at all. Look at that. Instead of using like one solid poly cap, like a peg system, like they're emulating Gunpla at this point. And then that system doesn't always work. I think the ball joint system, if they go with the ball joint system on the hips for the shoulders, this kit will have been perfect. Well, almost perfect. Nothing is perfect. But yeah, it's great. Okay, so mostly a good design, but still got some work. Yeah. For display, if you do all the paint work and stuff like that, this thing is gonna look awesome. Yeah. In fact, I kind of want to keep it. I actually sold this. I sold this privately on Jammer or something. I posted a picture of it. Somebody wanted to buy it, but then he was kind of uncomfortable buying something from someone he never bought stuff from before. So he asked me to put this thing on eBay, right? And even before I put this guy on eBay was asking me like, why am I soliciting business on a product that that Yeah, they were accusing me of soliciting business or something like that. So that's kind of stupid. It's on eBay now, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and purchase it before somebody else buys it. Yeah, so I lost my train of thought. Anyway, let's go over the articulation real quick. The articulation on this guy is pretty good. I mean, it just looks so good. Once you put in all the work, of course, it looks really nice. As with all the kits that I build, I want to keep everything, but unfortunately, I just can't. So, yeah. So anyway, we have the toe pivot right here. This is actually a polycap that goes into a peg, so that's good. And then we also have the pivot right here. You know what? I might. No, I'm just gonna leave the bottom like that. It's fine. I put so much work into this kit already. We have the hinge right here, the ankle armor. Whoever buys it, you can panel line the bottom of the feet. All right, so we have double jointed knee. That is actually really nice. This is very well designed. There's a little part right here that goes inside the like that. So just like like all the Optimus. Well, not quite like the Optimus. Like the Optimus and Megatron have this section that collapses in. This thing is a little bit different because this guy is very different from Optimus and Megatron. The side skirts are actually these two scabbers, which are pretty cool. Yeah. Again, the full sticker sucks. You have individual back skirts like that. Unlike Gunpla, this thing doesn't have that hinge system where you can like swing the leg back and forth. Yeah. Well, some of the more advanced Gunpla kits have that system. So you have universal joints for the hips. That's very nice. And then we have the thigh cut. Yeah. It's not like the best thigh cut because it's just enough for you to do some stuff. It's not going to rotate like 360 degrees. We have individual front skirts like that. Very nice. Let's see. We have waist articulation right here. It's actually a ball joint that goes into the hip. However, due to the waist, the way the waist is designed, it's very hindered. So yeah. And we have the ab crunch right here like that. That's actually very nice. So that's pretty cool. The head is let's see. The head is a double ball joint. There's a ball joint that goes in the chest and a ball joint that goes in the head. But this side, it's a complete solid construction where the ball joints is actually all embedded into the neck, so you can't really take the head off, and that's gonna be a problem, especially if you're someone who sells your model kits. That have to go through shipping because you got to do something to protect these tips because these will most likely break when shipping. I'm gonna have to figure out a way where I can do something with this head to get it all covered up before it gets messed up in the shipping and something breaks. That would sucks. The best thing to do is just insure your item, and then if USPS breaks it, that's on them. All right, so anyway, we have the swing out shoulder gimmick like that. Very nice. We have a peg, straight peg. Yeah, like I said, the shoulder isn't like the greatest design. There's a ball joint with a polycap that connects to this peg right here, so you get like a lot of shoulder movement for this armor. It can move independently, and there's this flap right here, so allow the arm. Yeah, again, this polycap is very stiff, so you have to be patient working on it. If you give to a kid, they're just going to try to force it, or anyone who's not patient. And if you're not patient, you're definitely going to break something. So you have to pull this thing back, make sure nothing is getting in the way of this point of articulation, and you want to slowly put both hands here and slowly work that polycap so you can get the arm to go perpendicular. Yeah. This poses some, if you're not inexperienced on model kits and polycaps, you're just going to try to force it. There's a very, very high chance that you're going to break it. So this is something you want to pay attention to. But other than that, I think that's like the only major issue I face with this kit, other than full stickers and color inaccuracies and stuff like that. The mold is really good. It's, like I said, 9 out of 10. And the build is also very satisfying, 9 out of 10. So there we go. That is pretty much a review for this kit. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I mean, I appreciate all you guys' input. You know, some people suggest like, you know, I start my own website. Right now, it's just not a feasible situation. You know, I actually have a couple websites, and you know, there's actually quite a lot of groups of people out there, like companies like Jukan Media and other opportunistic companies from overseas who are like, you know, going after everybody. Like they're looking through all the compliances and stuff like that on your website and trying to find flaws so they can sue you. Yeah, and the funny thing is they basically they bought out like a whole bunch of companies that owns licensing rights to images or like music and all that stuff. And then when they find something on your website that is not compliant, you know, if you didn't pay them money to license and stuff, they're gonna like ding you for it. And it's a lot of money, man. Like they don't get out of bed for less than $25,000. Yeah, you get sued by like 2 or 3 of them, you can go bankrupt very soon. So anyway, with that being said, yeah, I think that is pretty much it for this review. I think at some point in the future, I would explore the idea of owning another website, fully operated by me. That way I can make sure, you know, everything is compliant instead of, you know, going through like webmasters, third parties, and stuff like that. But yeah, right now I just really don't have the time for it. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate you guys giving me all these inputs, and I definitely appreciate people who you know, are buying the stuff that I'm selling on eBay, so I can continue to produce content. I really like this kit, man. Seriously, I really like this kit. I wish I can keep it, but yeah, I'm just not in the financial situation to like keep like everything that I built at this point. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this review. Thank you guys for all your support. Thanks for watching.